So it's Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, and that means we are going to be treated to all sorts of ads and tributes that present a very misleading, watered-down Hallmark version of Martin Luther King. They usually feature a photo of King paired with one of his quotes that references peace, love, or unity. The goal of these messages is to prevent us from seeing Martin Luther King for what he really was, a revolutionary committed to radically reshaping American society so that it would live up to its high ideals of liberty and equality. In his day, Martin Luther King was one of America's harshest critics, and white Americans despised him for it. Let's be clear, Martin Luther King did not fight for peace. His goal was not to bring people together, and white Americans did not see him as an admirable public figure. That's because Martin Luther King's primary goal was justice, not peace. In fact, he was committed to disturbing the peace, which is why he was arrested 30 times. The hippie Hallmark version of King that we see this weekend falsely equates his philosophy of nonviolence with peace. Nonviolent tactics are not peaceful. They are fundamentally confrontational. King and his fellow activists nonviolently confronted America's racism and oppression and exposed it for all the world to see. They nonviolently forced America to reveal its hatred, its racism, its white supremacy, and its unconstitutional Jim Crow laws. That's why they were met with so much violence. That's why in 1963, 60% of Americans opposed King's now famous March on Washington, where he delivered his I Have a Dream speech. That's why Martin Luther King had a 75% disapproval rating in 1968. And that's why this happened. For King, peace and brotherhood were long-range goals that would come after justice was achieved. That's the point of the I Have a Dream speech. King said he looked forward to a time in America where a person would be judged by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. So this weekend, beware of this false presentation of Martin Luther King as a harmless advocate of peace, love, and understanding. People like the Hallmark version of King because it's more palatable than the real, revolutionary, truth-telling, justice-seeking, troublemaking Martin Luther King of history.